Today we are checking out the MaeckerVR Charging Dock for the Meta Quest 3S. This charging dock is designed specifically for the Quest 3S with its unique magnetic charging design. I always leave timestamps. If you want to scrub around, feel free to do so. And without further ado, let's get right into the unboxing. Alright, so right away we see it has it says short circuit protection, overcurrent protection, over voltage protection, and of course we have overheat protection. So all kinds of protection for this device here. And then I'll just give you an idea, a glimpse at the back if you want to zoom in or see any of the information there, the package weight or whatever. Anyway, let's get that out of the way. Alright, let's get right into the installation. Now, the dock, we'll talk about more in the review, of course, but we're gonna get everything sorted out here. So, you're left with this little magnetic kind of boingy-boing, and it has a USB-C side here, and deep in there, you're not gonna be able to see it because there's no light going in there, but there's a USB-C connector terminal deep inside this little slot. So what we're gonna do here, let's see if I could bring it up to show you a little bit better. We're just gonna pop it in here and wiggle it around until we feel that it's settled into that USB-C slot, and then we want to make sure it's flush. You see how it's not flush right now, so we just press it down and we'll hear it pop in. It's kind of, yeah, maybe a little awkward to get in there. You have to get close with your fingernail or something. And then once it's flush, you're nicely popped in and you have this nice little boingy boing, which will be your magnetic charger for the Quest 3S. So let's install the controller batteries. Okay, so we're just going to do one at a time actually. Let's get the cables out of the way, and we're going to use one of our terminals here, which is going to be this one. Okay, so we're going to remove the original battery door. We're no longer going to use that, so we'll just put that aside. We're going to remove the battery that you're using in it. We're no longer going to use that as well. We're going to put that aside, and we're going to open up our battery pack here. So let's see, we have two batteries. Okay, let's get these magnets off of it. These magnets are for the Quest 3S. You're going to plug that into the USB-C slot on the side for charging, and then the magnets will connect here to the little terminal. That's how it's going to pop on to charge, by the way. So let's continue with the controllers. We're going to take one of our batteries and pop it in the correct way, and make sure, the most important part is making sure that these silver terminals are facing up, and that way they are connecting with these little prongs here when you slide on the battery terminal door. So we should be good there. Let's quickly double time the second one really quick. Great. Okay, so that's all connected. We have our terminals in slot, and the last thing we need to do is plug in the unit to give it some power. We have a little adapter here. We have a long USB-C to USB-C male-to-male cable here, which will plug one side into our wall outlet, and the other side will go into the back of the charging port. If I turn it around here, you see it says out and then in. So we're going to be going in to the charging dock, out from the wall into the charging dock. And then if you wanted, you could use the smaller cable here. They included a smaller cable, USB-C male-to-male, of course. And this is for charging any battery packs. So what you could do is plug this in here, and then any battery pack, if you have something like, if you have any battery packs for any head straps. I probably shouldn't be showing another brand in here, but so yeah, this out port, if you want to use it for charging any head strap batteries or any other batteries, or really anything. You could probably plug your phone into it if you wanted, to be honest. Depending on how much it outputs, it might charge a little bit slower than, you know, normal output. But anyway, you can charge up some devices here if you want. So this is the Maecker Charging Dock. It does have nice lights you could see on the front right away. Just to show those off, we do have purple lights to show that the devices are charging, but once the lights turn blue, that means the devices are charged and ready to go at their full capacity. So that's really nice. Of course, if you do want, you can turn off the lights and make it completely black. If you want to, turn off the lights, at night, if this thing's in your room and you don't want any lights going off and kind of shining everywhere. So that's a nice option as well. You have that simple button in the back just to turn on and off the lights. Now, I had no problem with the magnetic charging connector with the Quest 3S. You could see it's easy to just plug in and you have that magnetic connector ready to go, so that way when you do set it down on the charging dock, it automatically connects and you're charging. There is one little thing I will say with the controllers where they will show 70% battery life even though they're fully charged in the Quest 3 or Quest 3S software. So when you're in the headset, you'll see the controllers might say 70% battery life. This is fine, it's normal, and it's even mentioned on their website that it might show 70% instead of 100% battery life. So if you're a little confused, don't worry, it's just the way that it reads these batteries that are rechargeable in the controllers for the Quest 3 and Quest 3S. So, do I recommend the Maecker Charging Dock for the Quest 3S? Absolutely. I'm currently using it myself for my Quest 3. This one's for the Quest 3S, which I don't use as often, and I don't really have room for two of them. But if I did have the space for two of these charging docks, I certainly would have both of them out and definitely being used. The controllers, the batteries, having them constantly just always being charged, never having to replace batteries. And same thing with the headset, kind of, I just set it down, it's always charging, it's always ready to go. I'm able to pick up my Quest 3 or Quest 3S whenever I want and know that it's charged and ready to go. This is such a nice luxury to have in VR, and charging docks are definitely something I recommend if you don't have one already and you're maybe having frustrations with the battery not always being charged up. So having a charging dock, I can't express enough how much it helps me stay in VR and want to continue playing VR because I know my Quest is ready to go and charged every time I pick it up. So, of course, if you want to purchase a Maecker Charging Dock for yourself, of course these are available for the Quest 3 and the Quest 3S. I'm going to leave links in the description down below. As always, liking this video helps me a bunch, thank you. And if you want to see more content just like this, I do hardware and software and game reviews, make sure to hit the subscribe button, it does help the channel out a lot, thank you so much. And as always, I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.